So something really cool just happened. There is a huge event that's going on in the chess world right now. This is the I Am Not a GM Speed Chess Championship. It's currently going on live. We got James Canty, we got Lawrence Trent. They are battling it out to see who gets to play Eric Rosen in the final. Currently, it looks like James Canty is up 9.5 to 7.5 against Lawrence Trent. By the time you see this video, probably you will know who is the winner and who gets to go on to face Eric Rosen in the finals. Now, I have not seen this game. This is going to be a live reaction. This is totally different than the kind of video that I normally like to make. This is going to be more of just me reacting to this for the first time, and then we're going to give it to you a Gadmeter style. I'm going to throw on a thumbnail. We're just going to publish this thing. We're going to launch it out, and you can subscribe if you want to see the well-rehearsed video that I already prepared earlier today. That'll be coming up next. But let's check this out. This is a big game. This is huge. You're James Canty. You're playing Lawrence Trent. Okay, we can see a little bit of spoilers. We already know who won this game. Not looking so favorable for the Nakhmanson, but was there any chances? What happened here? This is the Scotch game. This is how we reached it. Bishop to c4, not taking the pawn back right away. This is the Scotch Gambit. Knight to f6, castles. That's how you get here. And after black takes the pawn, black's currently 2 pawns up. But boom, we hit you with knight to c3. And I do tell you what, I'm going to probably turn the engine on for a lot of this as I'm reacting to it. So apologies if it's not a deep dive analysis. I really just want to get this out to you guys as fast as possible. This is more of a news story than an educational video this time. But this is the Nakhmanson Gambit, and Lawrence Trent does not accept it. And I do know, I was actually surprised the first time someone did this against me. This is not a good move for black, and I think white here is actually winning. In the game, we saw knight takes d4, but this is not the move. Knight to g5. I believe there's already some massive tricks here going on. And apologies, we are going to spoil it. You're going to get to do it with me. All right, he's already winning. Nakhmanson, huge success. Knight f6, not one of the popular ways of declining. Much more popular is knight takes, but there's other ways of declining as well. You can go to d6, you can play d5. These are all very acceptable moves. This is not a good move due to knight to g5. And you put some pressure on this f7 pawn. And then I believe there are some tactics after d5. You can take immediately without playing rook to e1. You play knight takes d5. And if there's this recapture, there's always going to be issues kind of involving some sort of takes and queen to h5. The optimal way to do it, most people are taking immediately. This is a mistake, however, because after queen f3, queen to f6 is one of the lines that saves black. This does look kind of unpleasant to play, but black is up material here, so I guess should be able to survive with best play. However, if in this position you play rook to e1, there's going to be bishop to e7, and now you can take on this square. Notice how the bishop now is not going to let the queen come out to f6. That's a fantastic idea to remember. You give this check, it goes here, boom, and this should be very devastating. Black is still a piece up, but after queen to f3, we probably have the usual plans, stuff like bringing this this bad boy out here and all sorts of fun threats. Obviously, there's still a lot of complications. If the rook goes here, we always can toss this in if we want. Something like this looks like just a ton of fun. You're just going to play bishop to c4 somewhere. Only move. So this is very complicated. Obviously, this is hard for white to spot all of this if you've never seen it before. Looks like black is hanging in there, but I'm imagining eventually we get enough pressure against this guy. So very complicated. So obviously, no demerits for missing that. Let's see what actually happened in the game. Knight takes d4. Okay, this looks fine. And now knight to f5 is what was played. So he didn't get the winning position right off the bat, but now he has another very good position, as it would appear. Castles, rook to e1 played, and apparently the better, strongest move is bishop to g5. I'm imagining if I'm playing this as white, I guess this is a move you want to consider. I'd also want to have rook to e1 in so we can start getting a lot of pressure on this guy. But the main point is, if I guess black plays like a normal move, let's say the next most logical move would be d6 because you want to attack this guy, you want to get your bishop into the game. Is there already some issues? Yes. And the problem is you get a position like this where either black will be taking here and at least you get to shatter their structure, or if you take with the queen, it appears that we have knight to d5, maybe rook to e1 first, but ideas of knight to d5 are entering the position, and you should be able to shatter the pawn structure, it would appear. Something like queen e4 looks like kind of a crazy move. I think that's a little bit of a harder move to spot, but something like this is what the computer is giving. you'll be able to save your bishop and you've shattered the pawn structure. Something like this should be good for white. But instead, after rook to e1, black now has an opportunity to play bishop to b4, avoiding any tactics. Like maybe white is starting to think about rook takes e7 as some sort of tactical idea, followed by knight to d5. So bishop to b4 is an interesting way of getting out of those complications. Lawrence plays d5. This is apparently fine. White takes. This is great. Takes. This move is fine. Maybe there's some bishop g5 was also fine. And we get a position like this where black is up a pawn and therefore doing very well. White, I think you would still be kind of hopeful, is looking for some sort of opportunities. I guess the computer's going to find stuff. As white, you know, you look for some sort of tactical opportunities. Maybe you can bring this guy in. Maybe at some point, if this queen ever leaves, you're thinking of taking on h6 or something. But we'll see what happens. h3 just to prevent anything from coming to g4. And it's a pawn, but the computer actually says white has some compensation. You got the two bishops. Bishop comes in, bishop here. Let's see, where is the exciting action? Black wants to trade the queens. This is sensible enough. You're up material. And Canty does do it, but he says, okay, we'll get this position. Where he gets the pawn back. So he's not taking back on g3 right away. He's winning this pawn right here. Then brings the guy over. And now black is up a pawn, and it's this extra guy. Black is not up a pawn, sorry. Because he threw this in, he's actually now found a way to get the pawn back. So black might be just a little bit better just due to the slightly healthier pawn structure, but it's really not much. So we got an equal position. And what happened here? This allowed d4. Maybe black can start to get these guys fired up right away. Not terribly easy to see. And after some more moves, black is slowly outplaying white, who, unfortunately, is going to maybe lose that c pawn. The c pawn becomes a target. It does get taken. White plays b4, tried to stop some of these ideas. But now things, I guess, are starting to fall apart for white. We still got quite a few more moves to check out. So this is kind of sad. It was a Nakhmanson gone incredibly right until it suddenly wasn't. Let's see if there was any more highlights from this game. Takes, takes, and your king is just kind of paralyzed. This guy is way too strong. The knight is not letting the king even approach the pawn. Let's see. White still has a majority, but there's no way to really break through on the king side anymore. So black, is just bringing the king in slowly, getting the job done. This is a fork, so obviously we're going to take that g pawn. If you don't take, taking also loses, but now white has the chance to make a queen. Black is much faster, but black just decides, you know what, I'm just going to go take these pawns, make sure everything ends, because now there's no way for white to take all these guys. Very, very sad, but very cool that James Canty was playing the Nakhmanson Gambit in such a huge tournament. I mean, there's a lot on the line. The winner gets to go to the finals. The winner will be playing Eric Rosen. But I thought that was really cool, and maybe next time, knight to g5. All right, if you like that, if you like these reaction videos, let me know. Make sure you subscribe, and there's going to be some real videos with a lot more well thought out content coming very soon. Bye.
If you're feeling trapped like a queen, no blunders, only sacrifice and see. Well, you may have the blues. Never be a chicken when you lose.